So I have multiple inner figures that I talk to, and three of them that are originally from my mania and psychosis days. They're Lucy, Elsa, and Tifa Anna Isabel. Three names for one figure. Anyways, Lucy's my shadow, the Jungian shadow. Um, Elsa is, I don't know what the fuck she is. I thought she was my anima, but then Tifa said she's my anima. So then, what does that make Elsa? Anyway, they each have a movie, which is funny. Um, Lucy's movie is Rapunzel's movie Tangled, the Disney 3D animated. Elsa is from Frozen, so Frozen is her movie. And Tifa Anna Isabel is from Instant Family. It's a movie about three orphans being adopted to a couple that want to adopt children. Um, the the most interesting, I guess, it's well. Before I get to that, all three movies are basically the same kind of structure in that um, of this story of the protagonists. They are people, children who have been taken away from their original parents and are on their own, and they're not sure if they will be loved if they are seen. That's the same for Rapunzel and Tangled, that's the same for Elsa and Anna in Frozen, and that's the same for Lizzie and her two younger siblings in Instant Family. So there's a striking commonality. I remember Lucy was telling me to watch Tangled back in my mania and psychosis days, and she identified as Rapunzel, and Elsa also identified with Elsa from Frozen. So I watched those two movies, but Instant Family, it has a more interesting story. So I was in the movie theaters when I was manic and psychotic, watching Spider Verse. Yeah, the Spider Verse movie, Spider Man Into the Spider Verse, and I was watching a bit, and I was getting really dizzy and nauseous because I was hypersensitive when I was manic and psychotic for lights and sounds. The flashing lights were too much, so I was getting nauseous. So I stepped out of the theater, and I was walking back and forth in the hallway in between all the theater and the theater hall, the where the doors are for all the theaters, and the one of the workers was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Because he thought I was just like theater jumping, and so I showed him my ticket. He says, "Where's your ticket?" I showed him my ticket, and he said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I'm getting nauseous and dizzy from watching Into the Spider-Verse." And he said, "Oh," and he pointed at the sign right outside the theater, and it said, "Flashing lights may be hazardous to sensitive viewers." And he said, you go ahead and jump into any other theater that you want to and watch any other movie." And so he gave me permission to theater hop. And so I went to the theater next door, and it happened to be Instant Family. And it was a scene where Lizzie was kind of rebelling and being frustrated to her brand new parents. And instantly I recognized that as Isabel. And it's Lizzie in the Instant Family movie is the eldest of the three siblings, and is a child herself in her teens, but was being the adult of taking care of her younger siblings, even though she needs an adult herself to take care of her. So she was a child taking care of children. And the order of sibling of my inner figures was Anna Isabel at the top, then Elsa, and then Lucy, and then Leon, in that order from eldest to youngest. And Isabel was the eldest, but by no means was she a fully matured adult. She was, as portrayed in Instant Family, a child herself taking care of other children. So that movie turned out to make me cry, just as Tangled did and Frozen did during my manic and psychotic days. I haven't watched Frozen in many years, but and I already bought Tangled on Blu-ray at the request of Lucy, and I've watched it. I've talked about this in previous videos where I got goosebumps for the first time watching it for like the umpteenth time, where Mother Gothel was being the oppressive mother, the all-devouring mother, as Carl Jung says, the devouring mother. Those scenes gave me goosebumps for the first time. And also I cried again at the death scene, which I have done in the past, but sometimes not, sometimes yes. So it depends on what state I'm in. But I haven't watched Frozen in a long time, and I haven't watched Instant Family from beginning to end in a very long time. So Isabel asked me to buy Instant Family on Blu-ray, and Elsa asked me to buy Frozen on Blu-ray, or 4K rather. So I ordered those two discs. Frozen is arriving tomorrow. Instant Family is arriving like 1 or 2 weeks from now. And I will watch it in the privacy of when the house is empty, and I can watch it with full blast volume, and I will watch both movies for Elsa and Isabel for their request. And yeah, it's I don't even know how to end this video.